I want to talk about these social media platforms. And we all know about Facebook, but the truth is that we're doing this for most of our day on things like Instagram. I catch myself on Instagram sometimes, and I'd like to think I'm very aware of these things. And again, I'm going to teach you here at the very end some things you can do to get off this addiction on your phone. But these days, Instagram is getting so good that it can pull you down a rabbit hole of videos and pictures that are tailored to your history of what you watch, and it can suck you down into a vortex where literally 5, 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes go by. And not only does it take your time, it kind of gets you into this very flat, kind of a dopamine-less existence. And it can pull you places that don't make you productive, that get you in these negative feedback loops where you think you have the life that sucks. And none of it's true. It's all a fantasy. I've had some of the most incredible people in the world here sitting in the chair, dropping nuggets of science, but off camera, they're just normal people. They're not getting picked up by limousines. They're not hanging out with celebrities. They're just living their lives. And unfortunately, a lot of times I think we don't realize that, and we're looking into what's actually happening. So you need to really examine what's going on with your social media consumption. The iPhone has a great new device these days, which is called Screen Time. So you can really start monitoring how long you're spending on each one of these social medias and how often you're checking your device. And it's time to really reel that back in and try to make sure you have a controlled effort. And again, I want to share with you exactly how I teach doing this inside my academy and how I do it as well, because you'll notice something very unique on my phone that is probably very unlike your phone. And I'll give you a little peek right there. You can kind of see it there, but I'll show you. And it's the fact that there are no badges on any of my social media. And a badge is a term on the iPhone where it shows how many numbers of posts are there. And it's something that just when we look at the screen, it's going to make us go, oh, what's happening on Instagram? What's happening on Facebook? What's happening on my email? And it already starts taking my mind off the present and what I need to accomplish today to do what I got to do. And one of my guests on the show is named Guy Kawasaki. And he's got a book called The Art of Social Media. And Guy used to work with Steve Jobs at Apple back in the day. And he always has an amazing quote. And I teach this concept inside my business accelerator in the London Real Academy. And he said this. He said, Brian, I'm a producer of social media. I am not a consumer of social media. Let me just repeat that again. I'm a consumer of social media. I'm a producer of social media. I'm not a consumer of social media. His point was this. If you have to use Instagram for business, and again, I hear that from a lot of entrepreneurs that end up scrolling for hours a day, wasting time, which wastes money, which means their business won't be successful. If you really are using Instagram for business, you should just be in production mode. That's all you should be focusing on. You should not be in consumption mode. In fact, I would argue that with your first 100,000 in revenues, hire that person that posts on social media for you so you can stay off of the platform entirely. And maybe you give yourself 5 minutes at the end of the day where you check your DMs and do some business, but otherwise you stay off of it. Because if you really want to use this tool for business, you're a producer of this content, you're not a consumer. And let me say one more thing about that. Whenever you're consuming someone else's social media content and not what you produce, you are making them money, period. That's it. Because this is a game of attention. And I've had Gary Vaynerchuk in here, and he always had a great line that I always loved him saying. He said, Brian, I day trade people's attention. And I was like, Gary, what do you mean by that? And he said, Brian, I have a Twitter account right now with 2 million followers, and I've also got a Snapchat account. He said, when I post a Twitter account, I get like 6,000 likes and a few retweets. He said, when I post something on Snapchat, I can get 20,000 people that engage with me. So I'm always choosing where I get more attention, and I day trade that attention. He's like, that's how I build my business, by taking your attention away from your day onto me, and that's how I make money off you. So whenever you're on that social scrolling through someone else's site, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you are not making money for your business. You are actually giving money and attention away to someone else's business. And whether it's a pretty picture or an inspirational message, right, or some text meme, you're still not doing what you need to be doing, which is focusing on yourself, your own habits, and building your own business or getting your life to the next level. So always remember that. When you're consuming someone else's social media, you're doing the opposite of what you need to be doing for your own business and for your life. And again, I'll talk about what we do inside our Life Accelerator to shut these things down. But some of the basic daily habits that I do and I teach my students are this: daily meditation, which I did this morning; daily affirmations, which I said out loud on the way to the tube. I've got 27, 28 affirmations I say out loud about my business, about my family, about who I am; daily gratitude practice; daily goal setting. All of these things I do, I can't do when I'm consuming social media. I do a daily movement practice. I eat the right things every day. I invest in my sleep every day. I invest in my relationships. Guess what? None of those things are done on my iPhone. They're all done in person. They're all done creating content and building things that aren't about me looking at other people's profiles and feeds. So remember that. The next time you're on social media, remember, you're basically on someone else's agenda right now.
London Real doesn't stop when the conversation ends. You see, that's when we get started. Because everything begins with a thought, and then comes the action. The London Real Academy is our global transformation platform. Here we bring together thousands of students from over 75 countries. Whether you want to build a profitable business from your passion, or learn to speak to inspire, or broadcast yourself with your very own podcast, or accelerate your life to become a high-performance person, we have the online accountability course and personal mentoring program that will make your dream a reality. Join us, and we'll take your life to the next level, together. Our next accelerator course is starting soon.